I did not realize this until my father died, that his love for me was attached to the relationship that he had with my mother, or that he wanted to continue to have with my mother. And it's crazy because I think back now when I was a kid and my mother, first separated from him and joined the military. He was so involved in my life. He would want to walk me to school every day, but he would always, if my mother was there, also make an effort to speak to my mother. And even as a young person, when he would call me, on the phone or whatever, first thing he would ask me would be about my mother. And when I tell you, when my mother remarried, things completely changed to where I remember as a little girl calling him and crying because I missed him. And he told me, "You don't need me, you have a stepfather now." Mind you, I was being mean as hell to my stepfather. Literally, I was that child that was like, "You ain't my daddy," because I was so loyal to my father. But once my mother remarried, he continued to talk about how I had a stepfather now and how I didn't need him. And, I was so young, I didn't understand that his love for me was based on the relationship that he had with my mother. And that's why when he went on to be with other women, he really didn't have any regard for me. He never prioritized me in his life because, he was that type of man that his love was based on the woman that he was with. So, he got with a new woman, her children became the priority. And even, unfortunately, he passed away a few months ago. And that's literally how things were set up. I was not included in anything, and it's all good. But, yeah, I realized that, when my mother didn't want him and it was clear she didn't want him anymore, he didn't have too much for me. Mm-mm.